whole day. So here we go. Parents of Phantom Stranger. And I thought this was a really nice book for 20 bucks. So this is my only eBay pickup last week. And like I said, I got nothing at the half-price books or the local shop last week. So besides all the comic convention pickups, this is the only thing I picked up outside. So we'll go ahead and just recap my signatures. Hopefully everything will stick with us from now on. And we'll keep moving along. So I got some signatures at Cincinnati Comic Expo this weekend. So once again, I got my Squires #1 one day, but that's how I'm going to stick with it now because I don't have much of a choice. Oh, so just flipped off the on switch on everything I could think of and turned it back. How much this? I guess see how far we get. Next up, got some Mike Zeck Sigs. So here's Marvel Superheroes Secret War #1. Beautiful Mike Zeck Sig right there above the Hulk's head. And then also had John Beatty sign it right down there by Cap's shield. So I was happy with that. And see, now I'm all disorganized. And then I also had him sign the Punisher #1, each of them. I got this off Amazing Murfinator way back when on a Great Legends auction. So nice copy. Got it for a really good deal. So I wanted to get some signatures on it. And because I bought some signatures from them, they had this deal. Basically, if you had they gave you a raffle ticket just for buying anything, including a signature. You could either try to win a free print or cash it in and get a print for $5. So like I said, I've been feeling too lucky lately, so I just cashed it in. Got this nice Secret Wars #8 print that Mike Zeck signed right there. Only $5 for this, so they knew how to hustle at this booth, so I ended up leaving in my pocket. But Mike Zeck's wife was really good at hustling the table, so got a nice print. I'll probably put it back there because the stream started to crash. Actually, while I was getting this print from Mike Zeck's booth, I met Bub's Comics and Funk Off. They were also attending the convention, so it was really cool to meet someone in the community. It's the first time I've had the opportunity to do so. Bub's Comics pretty much tells the entire story of how we all met up, trying to figure out if we're going to win prints from Mike Zeck. Speaking of, there's Bub's Comics. He had a good story about it on the No Faces chat yesterday. So I recommend you guys go check his channel out. Speaking of Bub's Comics, he also got a great deal on that Batman 608 enough, and then I noticed it was gone the next time. But I'm really throwing into community, man. And Pope Cerberus the first. So glad you guys can make it. Miss Hustle says, welcome back. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully rebooting everything. So far, so good. So I'm just going to keep chugging these books out before we have another incident, if you will. Next up, Classic X-Men. Got signed by John Bolton, who did the back cover. He does some awesome, phenomenal artwork. We will have a little bit more on him in a second, hopefully. Lady Mechanica signed by Joe Benitez. This is issues 2 and 3 combined into one book. Same thing here. This is 0 and 1 combined into a collected edition. And then I had an issue 1 signed by him. Cool. He was busy sketching, so I didn't get too much of a chance to talk to him. So, but I always like his artwork as well. Next up, met Saya Alm at the Aspen booth, as well as Peter Steigerwald. So she signed this cool, amazing Spider-Man silk cover she did for me. There's the SIG right there. And then she was happy that I actually walked with a copy of Fathom #1. I don't think too many people actually had the Fathom books for them to sign. So she actually seemed legit excited when I came up with the Aspen books for them to sign. So there's that. And I actually had them sign issue 2 as well. So they were really cool. Wish I could have got something from Saya Ohm, but she gets booked up really quick, unfortunately. And my book was stuck for the weekend, let's just say, for right now. Next up, met one of my all-time favorite artists, Tom Grummett. If you guys have been following me the last few weeks, I've been hyping up this me meeting Tom Grummett. He's one of my childhood favorite artists. So I don't know, Chad from the Comic Cord probably didn't come back, but I did get this book signed and personalized for him because he's always like, man, Adventures 500, that's my grail. Rather, he's most likely being sarcastic about that. But nonetheless, I have plenty of copies of these, so I figured I'd take one and get one by Tom just to pretty suit Chad. There's that. Put that on his pile up there. I got going. For me, I put this. This is actually one of my wall books. And I know a lot of people think I'm goofy for having this on my wall, but this is one of my wall books. Let's just say that. Signed Adventures 501, the 90s-ified diecast pull-out thingamajig. And then I had him sign the early parts of my Superboy run. So there's issue 1. So always like that character. 3. Signature down there. Signed for me was issue number 8. Just because I always like the, I don't know, for some reason I always just like the 0-hour issue where the the younger Superboy meets Connor Kent Superboy basically. So I was always crazy about these 0. It was the first time I got a chance to buy any tie-ins besides Death of Superman was the 0-hour when that was going on in the early 90s. Next up, I'm at J.M. de Matisse. I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm sorry if that's wrong. I had to have him sign my Justice League #1. I had a few other things I took. But he was one of those, like, your first signature is free and then you pay for the others, which that's fair. So I just wanted this one signed. So that's the only one I managed just to take out and get signed by him. And he was talking about how legendary this cover was. Unfortunately, Kevin McGuire canceled. He was also supposed to be there. Would have been cool to get a signature on this from him. Next up, met Rick Leonardi. So he signed a couple X-Men books for me. So he signed up there. This is issue 235. Then I got issue 228 signed as well. So that was pretty much like this whole stack here is my backpack for the day. And I got this signed probably within the first 2 hours of being at the con. So I guess just to, well, I'll go into the chat first. And I'll tell you guys just about my general convention experience. Let's see. Pope Cerberus, the first is asking, what are the next cons coming up? Obviously, probably the biggest one would be Baltimore. I think it's a week from Friday, I think. The ones I'm going to, there might be one. I might try to make it to Ace Comic-Con in Chicago, the 12th, 13th, 14th of October. Maybe we'll see. I'd like to at least go Saturday. I don't think the way cons have been, the frequency of these cons this year, I was like, I almost just need to go to the next one for one day instead of 2 or 3. Because, like I said, I'm for it. And then I know there's one in Louisville. December 2nd, I think I'm going to try to make it to that one too. So those are the ones I'm going to try to make it to for the rest of the year. Looks like Funkoff has joined us. What's up, Funkoff? Like I said, he's one of the 2 people I met at this convention, so it was really cool to meet Funkoff. So that was awesome. Let's see. Miss Hustle says, "Oh, those Fathom. I need to find the trade once they look." Now, months away still. They just started. They're probably on issue 3 or 4, I think. So that probably means in 3 or 4 more months they'll have their first trade out. But gotta love some Fathom. Miss Hustle, you should at least look up the original Mike Turner run for sure of that. Looks like we got TJ Watson. I know me and TJ had some fun on the Comic Core last Friday. Always awesome to see him and Slab Mountain or whatever he calls his cave, where he has all those slabs. I've never seen a collection like that before. Let's see who else we've got joining us. Let's see. Gretzky says, I got the diecast one signed by Dan Jurgen and Louis Simonson. Oh, nice. That's the only reason I stay at 2 of them is because I always end up having to give my book away to someone for the whole weekend. So Tom Grummett kept my book pretty much the whole weekend. So it's kind of stuck for that second day at this con. But like I said, it wasn't too bad. I pretty much got a chance to shop every single booth in detail. So yeah, I didn't find a lot of deals at this one. I did get a couple. So I'll show these first. I got some dollar books. Most of these are really recent releases. So for $1, issue 36, another awesome Milton variant. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 48. I think this is a retailer incentive maybe, where Donnie went into the coma and then he got his consciousness put in metalheads somehow. So I thought that was a really cool homage cover. Supergirl number 16, probably my favorite Art Germ cover from this run. I already have this. So I'll probably end up putting this in the giveaway. It's one of his new favorite books that's already been canceled, I guess. So figured why not buy it for $1, see what but they had issue 2 for $1. Back to the chat before getting the rest of the pickups. Looks like we had Poor Man's Comics says he's first. Okay. Let's see. TJ refers to his room as the comic pit. That's a good word for it. Miss Hustle's asking, was the to Canadians or just U.S.? It's open to everybody. So far, half of the entrants are foreign people. I'm not even kidding. I think literally I have, let's see, I don't think I've written down two now. I think I have 18 entrants, and I think at least 9 are either UK or Canadian. Go care where we can ship it to Abu Dhabi like Garfield shipped normal a cat. If you want to enter, please, and I'll let it run through all of Sunday too. So, crap. Now you guys are talking about like or actually $29. I'm just gonna round it up to 30 for these 5 books. I think they're pretty good finds. So I got a really good deal on that. Up. I don't know why this, but I got a She-Hulk #1 for basically $6. So I definitely can't complain about that. Maybe if I talk like a robot, I'll be normal, but I'm not going to do that. Since, it's usually like a $20 or $30 online. Not to mention the rest of those are about the same price. But yeah, this one I got for $6. But wait a minute, and hopefully the chat's cooperating enough to see this because I was broken. Maybe you guys can see it. Like, does this book look presentable? Does it look nice? Besides that right there, but we won't worry about that. But I think this book looks pretty nice, right? I was touching it like this. That feels a little weird on the bottom. Built it up like back cover. What happened to the back cover? Like someone perfectly cut that, so it looks perfect on the front, but there's no cover. I don't know. Yeah. So, but nonetheless, it's very presentable. So I was not happy about that, but at least I didn't pay that much for it. So, but yeah, it's a phenomenal cover. But unfortunately, I will never know what the back cover of this book looks like because I don't have a back cover. So, no, I am not down. I have all of my stuff turned off. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with my internet. I deeply apologize. This may be the last Tuesday night live stream because of this, because I'm getting tired of all this stuff. Signatures 30. Who else signed this book? But nonetheless, I think Bob McLeod signed it too right there. So I got about 36 SIGs in this book now. So I'm going to keep going and see how many I get. I'd like to at least top out at 50, but that's probably not going to happen because everybody's getting older that worked on this. So there's that. All right. Let's just go back to the chat and hope for the best. Knights of Khonshu joined us. What's going on, Knights of Khonshu? That's a cool name. Rich, how's it going, Rich? Glad you can make it. And hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Let's see. Oh, Chad's back. So hopefully he saw his book. All right, we'll just go sketches. So I met this artist last year. His name's Andy. Actually wanted to get this book from him this year. So every year in October, he does what's called Inktober, like a lot of artists do. Basically, he just puts piece of art per day in October, and then he likes to collect it in art books like this. So there was one I always thought was really cool because I looked at these last year, and I was like, pieces of art like he does on the 89 Batman, which that was there, and Edward Scissorhands, Danny DeVito. So this guy has some pretty cool art, I thought. But there's one, yeah. So anyway, yeah, he did like this cat one. Like, man, it'd be cool to own that. And then he actually brought all the Inktober stuff with him that he's done for the last 3 years. So I could have easily broke the bank here. And this guy, I figured like he would have charged a few $100 or something for something based on the quality of work he put in stuff. He only charged like $30 to $50 Adam Sig, I guess, if you will. So I was extremely happy with this Catwoman art. So I'm definitely going to get a frame. Right now, I just put it in a Mylar bag just so it looked cooler, I guess. So, but I definitely will be putting this art up somewhere. I just need to find that little space it's going to fit. That I don't know yet, but I absolutely was blown away that this was in the middle of the Saturday at a convention when I missed Friday. This thing was still there. I was surprised. But the only one I noticed he sold, I think, was the Nicholson Joker, which that one's understandable. But yeah, I couldn't be happier with this. This is absolutely awesome. Very happy with that. Next up, I met John Bolton. He was selling all kinds of things, but he had these hardcovers. He didn't have a lot of these, so I decided to splurge and get this. Basically, if you bought this hardcover plus paid him a few extra bucks, he would do a sketch. And I'm like, well, cool. This is a guy who barely makes it over on the other side of the pond, basically. So I was just like, so I'm just like, you know what? It's Batman Day. I think I'll get like a Joker, because when it comes to picking like Batman sketches, sometimes I don't like to get Batman sketch because it sounds kind of dumb, but it just seems too easy because a lot of artists just draw the cowl and scribble it in, more or less. I'm like, well, with the Joker, you got to put in some work, right? So this kind of was my thought process. So I thought that was a pretty quick sampling of the artwork on the inside. He has very good stuff. So just, well, probably since I was 10 years old, rather be like a head sketch or something like that. So when they announced this convention, I was just, and the first guest they announced was Tom Graham. I was like, all right, I'm going. Like, there's no question. I was just like, so I wonder what his convention sketch rates are. And they were actually pretty affordable. Like, this is probably the most I've spent on one, but I didn't break the bank. So I was extremely happy with what I got. The only bad thing about getting the sketch was he had my book from the point I walked into the convention to the point I left on Sunday, unfortunately. But, you know, it's Tom Grummett. Obviously, he's going to be a popular guy because he worked on Reign of Superman way back in the day. So it is what it is. It's the price of, you know, it's kind of the additional price of getting this piece of art. But I had to have him do a Superboy for me straight from the 90s. He said, don't call me Superboy. So I thought that was really awesome. But yeah, I was so very happy. I was 10 years old again when he handed this to me. Let's just say that. So I was extremely happy to finally get something from Tom Grummett. So this is, you know, we talk about our grails in the community and, you know, like what awesome. So yeah, I just can't stop to a convention near you. All right, let's get back to the chat to see what's going on. Sorry, I got to scroll up a little bit. You guys have been blowing it up. What looks like I've been either roboting or rambling my mouth around here. Let's see. Poor man's singing "This Is Halloween," so we'll start there. Let's see. It looks like Chad came back. I think I already said that. Welcome back, Chad. Prowler says perfect. So there we go. Hey, guys, why not show this again too? I'm reading the chat so you guys can look. Prowler's asking, is John Bolton the one who does the back cover art for the X-Men Classic? Yeah, he done a lot of the back covers for those X-Men Classics. I mainly just wanted to get like a sketchbook or an art book or something from him, but I figured I had that in my collection. I just go ahead and take it and get a SIG on it because why not? Poor man's asking, got to figure out who I want to make a sketch on that blank Fantastic Four. Okay, so they're probably talking about Poor Man got a really good deal from Great Legend on those Fantastic Four #1s. It looks like we've got Gene Polly's Peter. What's going on, man? Glad you could make it. All right. So there we go. Once again, we'll keep showing that. Sorry about this. I'm still ticked off about this one, but it looks nice. All right. So the only other kind of topic I'd lined up to talk about tonight was I just wanted to know your guys' thoughts on the DC Universe launch. You know, I just went all in on it basically because I enjoy Marvel Unlimited, and 99.9% of the TV I watch is streaming. So I knew I was going to kind of have this because I read DC Comics and I watch everything on my PS4 and Xbox. Hopefully, eventually, this will be on there. But nonetheless, DC Universe launched this weekend, and kind of my thoughts on it. I'm a little bit underwhelmed so far, but I see they're already trying to make progress on some things. I haven't watched a full movie on it yet because my only options are these, my phone and my iPad. I don't have like the Roku stick and that type of stuff. I don't think they put their app on consoles yet. But once they do, I'm looking forward to that. But one of my side a different chat that I'll got it up on here, and probably like a lot of you guys out there playing Spider on PS4. That's been my vacation time so far when I've been at home. So unfortunately, my reading of my physical stuff is kind of stopped. Of course, I'll be reading hopefully Phantom Stranger, Showcase 80 sometime down the line because I want to definitely for sure read that. But I was just wondering if you guys had any thoughts at all on the DC Universe app launch, because like I said, so far I feel like they may as well just waited a little bit longer, add more stuff to it, and then launch it so it seems a little bit more complete. Because it's like my main question is right now is like, since I pre-ordered and did the full year plus 3 months thing, does my timer start now, or does it start when they get their crap together? Because I I feel a little bit snubbed with my 3 months. I'm not able to do anything with the apps because then what's the point? But there's some odd reads they've been adding on here. I don't know how closely you guys have looked onto what you can actually read with the whole DC Universe app. But one thing I did notice, like for instance, most of the Jeff Johns Green Lantern stuff isn't on there yet. I think there's a Green Lantern Rebirth #1 maybe, and then a couple from his regular run. But they have most of the Silver Age Green Lantern on there, so I thought that was a little weird. So if you guys if there's anything you guys recommend as well, I should be reading on here that you've noticed, go ahead and shout it out too. I'm just curious as to what you guys are even, if anyone out there is even using it, to be honest, because it seems like since it's launched, I've only heard a few negative things and then kind of nothing at all. So I kind of wanted to, if my feed provides, kind of open up a forum and talk about it a little bit, because I thought it was like they have 52 issue 1. Who's going to read just 52 issue 1? So like I said, some peculiar, but it looks like now they have 15 Silver Age Aquaman, so that's kind of cool. It seems like they're going deeper into the library than I thought before they go into the modern stuff. Here's one read I do recommend, though. They added, it looks like, Animal Man's 0 through 11 from the Jeff Lemire run. So if you guys haven't checked out Animal Man and have this app, I recommend reading that. Looks like, yeah, they don't have a lot of the newer Jeff Johns Aquaman, but they have the 2002 Aquaman. So there you go. It's kind of weird there. Sorry, I'm just going down the list here. The Batgirl from 2000, I hear that's a good read. So I think that was the Cassandra Cain run, if I remember right. So yeah, it looks like most of that run's available. So I may end up reading that too, because I heard my brother actually said that was a pretty solid run. Fix that. Oh, they do. Here's one I do recommend if you guys haven't read it. The Dan Jurgens Booster Gold that Jeff Johns helped write from 2007. It looks like they have pretty much that whole first 12. I recommend reading that as well if you guys hadn't checked that out. Going, man. All right. And then Comic Spectre, how's it going? So nice you guys to join us tonight. Let's see. It's about 8:16, so I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap it up here because I already showed everything. And so far, the internet is kind of stable, so I'm going to hope for the best. But just a couple last-second plugs. We got the 200 subscriber contest. Like I said, I got a couple sides. You got till the end of Sunday. So the end of Sunday, this contest ends. So if you guys hadn't got an entry yet, I'm going to probably do a contest update either tomorrow or Thursday because I'm going to have a whole big stack of comics I got to make. So I have to make a second prize. And then we can get to that third prize tier too. So my guess is if everything goes according to plan, we're going to have 3 prizes for this thing. So far, we have 2. So, and like I said, it's opened up worldwide. So if you guys aren't in the United States, you have a very good chance of getting your stuff, getting a good win. And I had some chat with him. I just want to thank him and Pope Grammy for having me on Comics and Cold Ones last Thursday. If you guys hadn't checked out that show, check it out on the Rewind on All About Comics channel. We had a great time. I think he's going to be live. It looks like 9 Central again this Thursday. And I think he said he might be having an auction coming up soon too. So if he wants, he can put the date in the chat for that auction. I don't know if that's an official thing yet or not. Probably, I think he said a Wednesday. So I'll try to be there for that. But I wanted to give him a plug. Let's see what else we got going on. We've got Comic Core this Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. So like I said, show up there. You never know what's going to happen on the old Comic Core. So let's see what All About Comics says. There is an auction this Saturday from somebody, but I don't. It might be TiVo's turn in an auction again this Saturday. I can't remember if the Warriors TiVo. I know it's not Legend because he just had his this Saturday. Sure. I know the Saturday after that, most likely. Actually, I got to check the calendar. It might be an off Saturday. Let's see. Just want to, before I plug the Legends auction. Yeah, Legends auction, his next one would probably be Saturday, October 6th at 10 p.m. Oh, okay. There's Big East. He's still in there. He says the New York Warriors auction is this Saturday, so definitely look forward to that too. Sweet, I'm off that day. So yeah, it looks like the New York Warriors are taking their turn at auction this Saturday. So definitely check them out. They always have some of the best deals in the whole community, and they all ship good too. And also, All About Comics, he ships good too. Don't want to leave that out. So get in on these auctions, these live streams. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign out before we crash again. So thank you guys so much. You're making me want to do these every Tuesday again, even though when I started at 7:30, at 7:35, I was about ready to throw my computer in the garbage. So thank you guys for sticking with it, sticking with me, and all the subscribers and all the watches. And thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. And happy Comic Book Day tomorrow.